Hey folks, this is another video in a series that aspires to teach Google Apps Script fundamentals to beginners. In previous videos, we've learned how to work with dates and time, how to use the plus symbol to concatenate strings, as well as to do math. We've also learned how to log out to our console so that we can see things, and how to structure our project files. We're going to resume by navigating to the Files module, where we will create a new script file. We're going to call this d_arrays, and we're going to hit enter. We're going to change the name of our function to array, capital E, explore, and we will save our project. We'll go to line 2, hit enter once, add 2 slashes for a comment, and now we're going to say what an array looks like, and hit enter and tab. We're going to declare a variable called array, and we're going to set that equal to square brackets, single quotes, hello. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard. We're going to add a comma. We're going to add another set of single quotes, and we'll say world. We'll hit the right arrow on our keyboard. We'll add a comma, and now we'll enter the number 1. We'll hit the right arrow on our keyboard and add a semicolon. We're going to hit enter twice. We're going to add 2 slashes for a comment, where we will say that we are adding logging, and we're going to hit enter and tab, where we will say logger.log, open parentheses, and then we will pass in our array variable. We'll add a semicolon and then save our project. Arrays are very important data structures to understand when working in AppScript. Generally, working with arrays are really important in programming because it's how you process a lot of information. Arrays and dictionaries are the 2 most important data structures, in my opinion. They're the ones that I work with the most. And when you're working with large volumes of data, they're probably going to be structured either in arrays or dictionaries when they're in their raw formatting. Within AppScript, you're not going to see a lot of dictionaries. You're going to be seeing a lot of arrays and 2-dimensional arrays. And that's what this lesson is going to be focusing on. So we're going to hit run so that we can look at our array here. And you'll see that an array is structured by square brackets. And then each element within the array is comma separated. So when we created our array from scratch, we wrote out the square brackets, and then we typed out each element in our array with commas separating each element. So when we are logging out the array, we return the square brackets along with the commas separating each element. If you would like to access individual elements within the array, you can do so by clicking to the right of array, adding a square bracket, and then entering in the element number. Now, it's important to know that arrays are 0 indexed, which means if you want to access an array element, then you're going to have to reference it with 0 being the first number. In the lesson on dates, we touched on this, where the getMonth function is structured in a 0 index. So the first month is represented by a 0, and the second month is represented by a 1. The same thing happens in arrays and 2-dimensional arrays. So if you want to access the first element of your array, then you're going to use 0. So when we run our console log, you'll see that when we do array square bracket 0, we are returning hello. If we want to get the second element, then we use a 1. And now you can see we're getting world. And then if we want that third element, we use the number 2. Now, if you attempt to access an element that doesn't exist in your array, so in this case, if we enter in 3 to try and get the 4th element, and we hit run, we're going to get a null value or a NaN value, which stands for not a number. So because there is no 4th element in our array, when we pass in the number 3, we get a null. So I'm going to go back to 0. I'm going to hit run. And you can see we're getting hello. And you know what? I'm actually going to just return the array. So now we're getting all of our values in square brackets. So if you see one set of square brackets, with comma separated values, then that's an indication that you're working with an array. We're going to resume on line 7, and we're going to hit enter twice. And we're going to hit the left arrow on our keyboard 4 times. And we're going to add 2 slashes for a comment. And now we're going to explore 2-dimensional arrays. We're going to hit enter and tab. And we're going to declare a variable called array and then the number 2. We're going to set that equal to square brackets, and we're going to hit enter. We're going to have another set of square brackets, and we'll say hey. We'll hit the right arrow on our keyboard and add a comma, and we'll hit space, and then we'll say universe, and then we'll hit the left arrow on our, the right arrow on our keyboard and add a comma, and then we'll enter in the number 2. We'll hit the right arrow on our keyboard and we'll add a comma and we'll hit enter. Actually, you know what? Let's just stick with this for now. So we just have square brackets, then we hit enter, and then we added another set of square brackets, and then we entered in hey, comma, universe, comma, 2. We're going to be on line 12, and we're going to hit enter twice. We're going to add 2 slashes for a comment. We'll do logging, and we'll hit enter and tab, and we'll do logger.log, and we'll have an open parentheses, and now we'll pass in array 2. We'll hit the right arrow on our keyboard, and we'll add a semicolon. And now we're going to hit run. So the difference between our array variable and our array2 variable is that we are now working with a 2-dimensional array. And the way that we know that this is a 2-dimensional array is because we have 2 sets of square brackets. So the first set of square brackets represents our first dimension. So a 2-dimensional array is also known as a list of lists. The word array and list is interchangeable. If you're working in Python, then you'll be used to the word list or list of lists. In AppScript, it is referred to as an array or a 2-dimensional array. So this is an array within our 2-dimensional array. So the first dimension of the array is the array. The second dimension of the array is the individual elements within the array. So if you wanted to access the second element in the first array, you need to enter 2 dimensions in order to do so. So if you were working in an array and you wanted to access the second dimension, which is world, you would go to array and you would add square brackets and you would enter in the number 1. If you're working in a 2-dimensional array and you enter in square brackets, the first argument that you need to enter, or the first dimension that you need to enter, is the array that you want. So in this 2-dimensional array, we only have one array, which 2-dimensional arrays, like arrays, are 0 indexed. So if you want to access that first array, you have to use square bracket 0. You hit the right arrow on your keyboard. Now, if you would like to access the second element of the first array, you add a square bracket and you use the number 1. And I apologize, I said first, I meant second. Gets a little confusing with the 0 index here. What you need to have is array, square bracket 0, square bracket 1, and that will return the second element of the first array. And now when we hit run, you'll see that we are returning world from our first array, where we have one access point, which is the element. And then in our two-dimensional array, we're getting universe. And the reason for that is because we've identified our first dimension, which is the array, and the second dimension, which is the element. Now in a two-dimensional array, you can add additional arrays. So we can add a comma here, and we can hit space, and we can add square brackets, and we can add in single quotes because we want to have a string, and we can say hi, and we can hit the right arrow and add a comment, and we can use single quotes, and then we could say galaxy, and then we could add another comma and enter in 3. And if we reset our array2 variable so that we have no additional access points, you'll see that now we have one set of square brackets, which denotes the two-dimensional array, and then each array has its own set of square brackets, which is comma separated. So now, if we wanted to access the second array and its second element, we would enter in square brackets, and we would use number 1 because 0, 1. And then if we wanted to get that second element, we would use square brackets and enter in the number 1. And then when we hit run, you can see we are now extracting galaxy because we are referencing the second array and the second element. Now, the final thing that we're going to review today is how to programmatically add arrays to an existing 2D array. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this array, our variable array, and we are going to push it into array 2. So we're going to hit enter twice and hit the left arrow on our keyboard 4 times, and we're going to add 2 slashes for a comment. And now we're going to learn how to add an array to a 2D array. We're going to hit enter and tab. We're going to reference the array2 variable, and then we're going to use the .push method. And now we are going to reference our array variable. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard. We're going to hit enter twice. We're going to add 2 slashes for a comment, and now we'll add some logging. And we're going to hit enter and tab. And we're going to use logger.log, and we will log out array2. And our result will have us now with a 3-array, 2-dimensional array, where we have array2, where you can see we have 2 arrays within it. But when we use the .push method and push our array into it, we now have 3 arrays, which is combining our first array with our 2-dimensional array. This is going to be something that you will likely use in the future when you are attempting to extract data from various places in order to create one data set. And the most common place that you will be doing that is with loops. And that's what we're going to be exploring next. I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to continue following this series, there's a playlist linked in the description.